Alright guys, so I decided that this would be better as a pre-recorded video that we could do a watch party on. So I'm going to show you all the things to do with cutting wood and jigsaws and like the sander I use and all of that stuff. So let's get started. Instead of a template to cut out or trace around, I have the actual door hanger because I had already painted it. You would have your cutout that we did. One tip I would tell you if you're planning on doing this long term and you want to sell these is to trace that template onto a piece of poster board so that it's stiff and it's easier to trace around. Okay, so that's my tip for those of you who want to do this long term. A way to store those is going to be those hangers that you get, like the cheap hangers from Walmart when I buy my kids shorts, or that have the clips. Hang them in a closet, like hang all your fall on one clip and hang all of your Christmas on one clip. So hopefully that's helpful. All right, so I'm going to show y'all what I do. I cut 3 boards at a time. So because I sell these, if I'm going to cut one, it's more cost effective and time saving for me to cut 3. So that's what I do. You can probably cut 4 at a time, but 3 has just kind of been my sweet spot. So I have a piece of wood you can see that I already cut some signs out of. So I'm going to set my Scarecrow down on my wood, or you would set your template down, and I'm going to trace around it. Now the reason I say to do poster board is because it has a little bit of a lip, and so it's easier to trace around than paper. Paper's kind of hard to trace around. Now before I cut, I'm going to show you some tips with the jigsaw. Okay, so I traced my Scarecrow. He is traced onto this board. Let me show you. It's kind of hard to see. You can see that. I did not use a regular pencil. I used a colored pencil. This is just a black one because they don't smudge. So I would not use a regular pencil. I would use a colored pencil. Now, there's a couple different types of jigsaws that you can purchase. This is a Black & Decker. It's like 30 bucks. It's a great place to start if you are just getting into cutting door hangers. I'm going to turn it sideways. You see this black clip? I'm going to hold it against me. I'm going to pull, just so you can see, I'm going to pull that black clip back and it releases, uh-oh, I just dropped it. Sorry, it releases the blade. So in order to put it back in, I'm going to pull that clip back. I'm going to set it in there, and then I'm just going to make sure that it catches. Now, you never want to do this plugged in. See? Never want to do this plugged in. And if you have a cordless, you never want to do it with a battery attached. Okay? That's very dangerous. Now, your blade is going to face outward because when you're cutting, you're going like this. All right? Now, this one has several different settings. So, like for scrolling, this is what I would go to. Now, I want to talk to you about blades for a second. This is a U-shank blade. Let me pull it back out. You see right there. Okay, that's a U-shank blade. I'll put it back in. Make sure it's all the way in there in case I go to use the saw. Now let me show you my favorite. So I recently upgraded. I'm going to pull this battery off. Remember, we don't play with blades with batteries on. Okay, so I recently upgraded to a cordless because I am a huge fan of all things Ryobi. And I love that they can, since they're all the same brand, I can swap batteries. Okay, so this is my new Ryobi. You don't have to have a cordless, you don't have to have a Ryobi. You can start with a Black & Decker. There are other ones on the market. I have several listed in my Amazon shop that I love, but this is something that, like, it was kind of one of those things that it would make my life so much easier, so I went to a cordless. But it was very important to me, and I'm going to show you how this one, the blade comes off. It's hard to see, but there's a little tab right there, and uh-oh, I just threw that on the ground. So you just twist it up, and then the blade popped out. So let me show you the blades that I use. These are T-shank, and when I upgraded from a U-shank to a T-shank, the reason is I would be cutting along and something would wiggle and my blade would come off. I don't know that it was supposed to happen. Maybe it was user error, but anyway, it was happening to me. And I got frustrated. So I wanted to be safer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the blade that I use. This is, it's a scrolling blade. Sorry guys, my trimmer is really bad today. It comes, I order these from Amazon, and I will put the link down for you. But these are the jigsaw blades that I have. They come in this little package, and so I just pop the top back on so I can store them. And then remember, our teeth are going to face out, so I'm going to grab this little notch, and I'm going to set it, it goes right along, let's see if I can show you, this wheel thing. I don't know, I'm not very technical. So I put it in there, and then I release, and then I pull on it to double check and make sure. Okay, so somebody asked me, how do I cut 3 pieces at once? This is the blade I use. I know it doesn't look super long, but when it comes down, it's plenty long. Also, I use, there's all these different cut speeds that you can use. I'm on a 2. You just have to play around and see what you like. There is a button right here that will keep it going even when I'm not holding the trigger. I don't like to use that button because I value my fingers. All right, so let me pop this on, and I'm going to show you how to cut out your piece. Now, in order to not cut my table, I always have my piece hanging off. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to cut this part, and then I'm going to turn it. Now, I get my blade going. I set my guide, set these 2 pieces onto my wood flat, but I don't put the blade right against the wood. So what I do is I set those down, and then I start my blade before it gets to the wood. Cut a little piece off. I'm going to show you. Let me get that off. There's the top. You can see my hat. I just cut a little piece off. Now you can go all the way around at once if you want to. I tend to stop, take my time, and make sure that my boards, since I'm cutting 3 at a time, are staying together. Okay, so I just do that. Now, you don't ever want to put your hands where the blades are, so you'll watch me. Like I had my hand up here when I cut right here. I'm going to move it over here when I cut this part because I do not want to cut my fingers. It's also a good idea to wear safety glasses, which I'm not doing right now. Okay, so that's how you cut with a jigsaw, and I'll finish that in a minute, but I want to show you my sander. Uses the same blade, or same battery, sorry, and it just pops on, and it is automatic. So I'm just going to click the button to turn it on, and just like that, that rough edge is gone. Like, that's it. So that's how you do it. I'm gonna finish cutting this out and show you, and then if you have questions after our watch party, just pop them below and I'm happy to answer them. All right guys, I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna speed this up so that y'all don't have to watch the whole process.